Childbirth is a process of joy and fulfillment for any mother, as she knows she is bringing forth life and a bundle of happiness to the world. But as it so happens to many women in sub-Saharan Africa and Asia, this joy soon turns to ashes when prolonged, protracted labor causes childbirth injuries, which reduce them to the ultimate state of human wretchedness. One of these injuries is fistula, generally called obstetric fistula, an ailment that afflicts more than 50 million women in Africa. The women who suffer from obstetric fistula are usually stillborn and bring forth no child during this time to even console them. They are constantly in pain, incontinent of urine or feces, ashamed of a rank personal offensiveness, and thus abandoned by their husbands and families as they become outcasts to society. They are therefore unemployable and unlovable as they live and exist without friends and family, and more sadly, without hope. The Women Shaping Africa organization, WOSA, tracked down Lucia, one of such women who suffered fistula for 40 long years, to the remote African village of Umuchu, Alguata, to hear a story, and more importantly, to relive her moments of joy, how she finally conquered this scourge. Lucia, like many women in developing countries without access to proper health care and are left with little or no choice, patronize traditional midwives or priests to deliver their babies, and in a few cases, they even give birth all by themselves.
So, before ngaba akbazinga bo logo agazo logo nozebe mo amet kwenu no logo asana bo na mama mbodo odotu na akbazinga bo logo ozo akpa manga bo logo ozo so ka kan hanozi ona akọ 8 o'clock ototo so nkiji ura pa pota so anakata nke ozo were hishi we pota ambocha mhamu so mgbe mocha bụ na alọta ojugbo ka mhụrụ ihe de ihe we bido mezem mgbe ihe na-eme m emeghe otu nshi eme nwanne nwoke bụ onye nwanne mma m papa m bụ onye kpọrọ ngaba ụlọ ọgwụ eme operation mana ọdọ ka ka eme.
Prolonged labor accounts for 90% of the causes of fistula. An estimated 2 million women suffer from obstetric fistula, and the majority of these women, if not all of them, are in sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia. Nigeria alone accounts for about 40% of global fistula cases. Nkolika Nwachukwu is a matron at the National Obstetric Fistula Center in Abakaliki, and has spent a considerable part of her career caring for VVF sufferers.
For a patient that has VVF, you will see that person leaking urine. The urine will be coming out. Then some of them, urine has a specific odor that is not really sweet to anybody, even you as a parent or a person. When you come close to somebody that has been leaking urine and perceive a kind of foul odor, you are not comfortable, you are not happy. With people that have this leaking of urine, there is a kind of rashes they do have. So these things, when people have them, they will know that they have VVF.
Professor Sunday Adeoye is an expert fistula surgeon and medical director at the National Obstetric Fistula Center in Abakaliki.
It often leads to ostracization of the sufferers, the victims. They are oftentimes ostracized. People believe that they are witches, others believe that they have been unfaithful to their husbands, and that's why the gods have visited such affliction upon them. They can't control leakage of urine. They can't control leakage of feces. The smell is there. There's loss of dignity. There's low self-esteem. Of course, because they are ostracized, they are stigmatized, they are discriminated against. They cannot contribute their own quota to their families, to even to themselves, to the society. And at the end of the day, many of them become destitute. Okay, many of them are separated from their husbands. And of course, the unfortunate thing is that even the pregnancy that led to the VVF, in over 90% of cases, will result in the death of the child. So the child will not even be there as a consolation for this woman, who will be driven away from the husband's house because she's leaking urine.
Lucia lost the twins she gave birth to due to inadequate prenatal care and prolonged labor. After giving birth, she underwent corrective surgery. Lucia, like many other women in her condition, was totally cut off from her immediate society and had no one to support her.
So Hana anya hum ya na boso so na bana ha ohia so mba na migera ha maka mpota ha na so na hin eshin so afọ negem otu shija no karibem so mweze on na azu mpota zende ha nda na azu mu na no so hin on eshin so on ekwe nokwala so mgara hapo la na tama ha.
Even in church, she would always sit away from the congregation. Her self-esteem was totally crushed.
Na chine hu ojibo. Chihu ha. Abo eshoka, njamoka. Njamoka ibe na no na azu kan na no. And them lo ha ojibo. Nlakbo na kpuru, bo na lakbo na kpuru mpota ha ojibo. Mpobane. Maka me na onye mu na akọrin kọrin. Emeko onye ajum eshiaga eje. Ma ahụ na erikwe nni. Ma ho lele ke na ko yi be matakan na janata yi na nje alakan na ko yi nwe nke nwegara nwe nke jirim nha ku nele me nke mchana mgba ha kate ni me ajokwa ha yi ni se yin ase nya mo ke kota mbie ebe me ho nya na chon no nse ure nwa.
Father Raphael is the parish priest in the church where Lucia worships in her village. He noticed how this woman separates herself from the congregation and couldn't help but wonder why.
I used to notice her stay apart and alone. So, over time, the staying alone, staying apart continued. You know, somewhere behind the church like this, you just stay away. Nobody will be close.
He felt a prompting that made him pay more attention to her and to know why she was always by herself.
I noticed again when she comes to confession, she breaks down and crying and wants to tell her story. Well, given the nature of the confession and, you know, with the number of people coming, I couldn't give her that chance. But it happened that around April this year, I had a prompting, I believe was from God, that I should pay attention to the woman. So it happened again that she came for confession that period and broke down again, crying. Then I perceived the odor. So I now asked her to wait for me. Then when I finished with other people that were for confession, I now started to ask her what the problem was. And she broke down crying. She couldn't tell me the story. But I noticed that it was something that pertains to women and, you know, their personal life when it comes to women that way. So I now thought about it and decided to involve the chairlady of the Catholic Women Organization, the CWO. So I now called her and asked her to meet with the woman and let her tell the story, what is wrong with her.
Mrs. Ofor is the leader of the parish Catholic Women Organization. She was one of the few people who stood by Lucia to ensure she got proper medical care.
Her husband took her to hospital. He entered into operation. After, for her to go back to remove the what they use for the operation. He stayed more than 10 years. The operation started to rumple the stomach. They again took her back and removed the string they use. The opening started again to worsen.
With the help of the Catholic Women Organization leader, he gets a clear understanding of her problem. Unsure of what exactly to do, the Reverend Father set to work to find solution.
So after telling the story, I now said, I don't know, this is the first time I'm hearing this. So what I think I would do is to send you to the hospital, the Catholic hospital in the town here. So I now gave her a note to the manager of the hospital. And then she went and they checked on her. After everything, they now referred her to Norfolk, Abakaliki, National Obstetric Fistula Center in Abakaliki. I've not been there before. So when I read the letter that it was in Abakaliki, I became afraid. One, it was far. Two, a specialist hospital. How can we afford to take care of her? So, but somehow I said, okay, fine. Some way, one way or the other, we're going to see through.
Then came the next problem: funds. Lucia's family were definitely not going to contribute a dime to any form of medical intervention, and they made that very clear. But the Reverend Father was determined to find a way around it, even if it took emptying the parish purse.
I made calls. I got somebody I know that is living in Abakaliki. I'm looking for this center. Can you make inquiries for me? And the guy went and checked and told me the center is there. I said, how much is their, their card, to registration? He said that they said it is free. I said, it's not true. They said it is free. The surgery, okay, if the person will undergo surgery, like how much? They said it is free. I said, this is not happening. I said, okay, fine. I'll come myself and see. That was how I got convinced to go to Abakaliki.
At Abakaliki, Lucia was treated and totally healed of fistula, all for free.
The services rendered here are completely free. The patients just come with their briefcase. The surgery we just did now lasted over 8 hours to be able to offer the woman a complete holistic treatment. And at the end of the day, she's received 2 pints of blood. She's going to be on potent antibiotics. She's going to be fed equally free. All that, she just came with her bag, and she will equally just go by His grace when she's okay with her bag and go home. But somebody has to fund it. The federal government is doing its best, but actually the partners need to come and complement what the government is doing.
Lucia is just an example of the few fortunate survivors who, after so many years of pain and trauma and segregation, eventually find help. But for most of these women, their battle to be fully reintegrated into their own immediate environment is a long, painful one.
So, when lotara, along can ojibo, along can ojibo, along father vroom gava has sister benam canum. No, I want to so be one no. We lotta, lotte ben. Took a chicken, and the mabata many aguaham. At
the Fistula Center in Abakaliki, we caught up with Mrs. Ifoma Maitichuku, a social worker who rehabilitates women, reintegrates them back into the society, and help their families understand their plight.
Their case tends to be more critical or bad even when they get back. Despite the fact that they are dry, they experience a lot of hardship, they experience a lot of a lot of stigma again from their husbands, especially in this area of sex. It's one thing I found out that has been an issue. The man will say, since you don't want me to sleep with you, I don't think this marriage will continue. And the man will just go ahead and marry another woman. You know, I've seen like a good number of them, like within that first 1 month, the man said, I cannot handle it again. The best thing is for me just to go and marry another woman. And, you know, and for that disorganizes the woman. It gets her more depressed. It gets her more confused, especially when they don't have more children, you know, because men, then also having discussed with some men, they will tell you that once a woman has fistula, they will not be able to have children again. So that's also their fear. So they feel, especially for those of them in the village, in the rural areas, they feel this woman cannot be productive again, that she cannot reproduce. So with that, the best thing for me is just to go and marry. That is their own view about it. And that is why I keep suggesting with some of these findings, I believe we need to like bring men into this fistula management, especially this social and psychosocial aspect of it, because it gets the women so depressed and more disorganized in their homes at the end of the day.
On one Sunday, when they came, after Mass, I said all the women should wait. And then they stayed back, and I now told them, this is the story of Lucia, what I've learned so far about her situation. This is her story. This is her condition. This is where we have gone to. And she is fine now. So that problem can be taken care of. And so we've started spreading the message. Incidentally, while discussing with the hospital, they told me about prolapse issue. So when I came back, I told the women, if you have prolapse or fistula, anybody you know that has such problem, it is treatable. Just indicate and we'll direct you properly. And since then, that is what we have been doing.
Most African women go on through many years, sometimes throughout their lives, without care or cure for fistula, and are unfortunately plagued by a flurry of superstitions about the nature and cause of their illness. And this can only be attributed to lack of education and information.
Onye ime na-eme metara aka ya gba mbọ onye ime na onye dị ime ozugbo ka a gaa ụlọ ọgwụ ozugbo jee chekie onwe mara ime ya gba mbọ gawa ụlọ ọgwụ ibe dọkịta nọ ka dọkịta leruo ya anya mara ma oruo na ma orubeghị so aga ibe ha chekicha agwa ya bụ ojiji amụ nwa so ruo mgbe a gwara bịa jee ga amụ nwa da ga ibe je mụọ nwa ihe mene bụ ma ihe metara aka ime metara aka so gba mbọ gbagawa n'ụlọ ọgwụ ozugbo jee mụọ nwa ebe ahụ.
For every one woman treated and healed of fistula, there are at least 15,000 more undiagnosed and untreated.
We need the partners to come in the area of assisting us to mobilize patients, because this kind gesture of the federal government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is something that every person who is suffering from this scourge should be made to know that the treatment right now in Nigeria is free, courtesy of the federal government. So we need the NGOs to key in, to go into the hinterlands and bring out those our mothers and our sisters that have been suffering from this scourge for decades, because they probably cannot pay for the treatment.
The need for increased funding for fistula treatment, as with other such health issues affecting women in Africa, cannot be overemphasized.
We need the NGOs to support us in the area of consumables, the things we need to operate. We need the sutures, we need the catheters, we need the antibiotics, we need the drugs, to be able to provide excellent care for these women. So there's a lot the NGOs can do. And of course, after repair, we again need the NGOs to come in and provide some form of either rehabilitation or reintegration, whichever is applicable, for these women, so that they can go back to the society and contribute their quota to the development of the economy of Nigeria and their own individual family in particular.
Women Shaping Africa, WOZA, is a social change organization focused on tackling and reducing the prevalence of obstetric fistula amongst African women. The contributions of WOZA are fundamentally woven around its core mandate, health interventions, especially with focus on obstetric fistula, female genital mutilation and effects of child marriage, economic empowerment, and education for the African girl child.